Hello and welcome. I am Exit Light, and this is another in my series of true unsolved murder cases. This case is Buckskin Girl. Buckskin Girl was the nickname given to an unidentified female murder victim who was discovered in 1981 in Troy, Ohio. She is known for her distinct hairstyle, along with the tasseled suede jacket she wore. The girl was found within 36 to 50 hours of her death off of Ohio State Route 55 near Greenlee Road in Newton Township. Police responded after receiving a phone call that a passerby had first noticed the victim's poncho and soon after discovered the victim's body. Her body had been placed face down, and she suffered trauma to the head, strangulation, and her shoes were absent from the scene. Authorities believe that she had been killed elsewhere and left on the road after her death. Some believe that she may have been a teenage runaway or a possible victim of a serial killer who had murdered multiple prostitutes in the region. However, there were no signs at the scene to suggest that she was a prostitute. Because of the absence of footwear, some also believe that she may have been murdered by an abusive significant other. One retired investigator stated that the victim was likely not from the area where she was found. The young girl had reddish-brown hair, which was braided into pigtails on both sides of her head. Blue rubber bands had been used to hold the braids in place. Her eyes were light brown, and she had many freckles across her face. Her nose was described to be very pointed. Her personal hygiene was described to be well maintained, and all of her teeth, including her wisdom teeth, were in good condition and had no evidence of fillings or other dental work, except for a porcelain crown on her upper right incisor. She was described to be between 5'4" and 5'6" and weighing 125 to 130 pounds. There were several scars that were found on her body, including a vertical scar under her chin, on one wrist, both arms, and an ankle. She wore Wrangler jeans, a patterned brown and orange turtleneck pullover sweater, as well as a deerskin poncho that appeared to have been handmade with a purple lining. The body was autopsied on the afternoon that it was discovered. The coroner officially ruled her death to be that as a result of a strangulation. Early efforts to identify Buckskin Girl involved the creation of a sketch of her face that would be published on local newspapers and television networks on April 28, 1981. Over 200 leads were followed as a result of this media attention, yet none resulted in a solution. She was eventually buried, but her clothing remains in a storage at the local police department. Because of the short time that the victim had been deceased, it was possible to obtain her fingerprints, her dental information, and her DNA. Although these three key elements are vital for identifying a body, they have never led to her identity. Approximately 165 missing women and girls were ruled out as possible identities of this victim. Some believe that she had been a runaway teenager or a transient wanderer, although her excellent personal hygiene suggests that she had access to hygiene products. Since her body was located near a town instead of a highway, the probability of her being a wanderer for a significant amount of time was thought to be negligible. In 2016, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children released a forensic facial reconstruction of the victim and added her case to their website, depicting her with and without braided hair. Also, the Miami County Police Department approved forensic palynology tests on the victim's clothing, which suggested that she had spent time in the northeastern part of the United States as well as the western part of the country or northern Mexico. Soot particles were also found on her clothing, which suggested that she had been in a populous region, most likely near vehicles. There were suspects, two different serial killers, that were thought to have possibly perpetrated this crime on this girl, but no one has ever been arrested. It was presumed at one time that she had been the victim of a span of killings known as the red-headed murders, but this theory was also ruled out. One speculation also made a connection to the murder of a 27-year-old woman in February 1981, yet police never made an official link between those two murders either. If you know of anything or have any information about this girl, please contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Please give them information. Thank you for listening. Again, this is Exit Light. Please push like and subscribe and come back. Good night.